Chapter 1. The MultiWorld Classroom. Instructor Sabal stood at the front of the classroom, a place he had become intimately familiar with over the many cycles he had taught at the Galactic Academy. His class, the largest group of multi-world children in the entire school, buzzed with energy. Students from across the galaxy filled the seats, their varied appearances and cultures creating a vibrant mosaic of life. There were students with scales, fur, exoskeletons, and translucent skin. Each brought a unique perspective to the classroom, contributing to an environment of rich cultural exchange. The Galactic Academy prided itself on fostering an atmosphere where students could learn not only from textbooks, but from each other, absorbing the richness of different cultures and experiences. Instructor Sabal had always found joy in watching his students interact, share stories of their homeworlds, and form bonds that transcended planetary boundaries. Yet this year brought a new challenge: the addition of Julie, the first human child to attend the school. Julie was an enigma to the other students. Earth, her home planet, was surrounded by mystery and legend, often referred to as a death world or uninhabitable. This stigma made Julie a curiosity, but also an outsider. Her presence had caused quite a stir, with students whispering about the fabled dangers of Earth. Instructor Sabal often saw her eating alone in a dark, secluded corner of the common area. Despite her efforts to befriend her classmates, they remained wary of the Earth Child, their imaginations fueled by stories and myths about her home world. Determined to bridge the gap, Instructor Sabal devised a plan. He believed that by understanding the dangers of each other's home worlds, his students would see that every planet had its own challenges and threats. After all, he thought, every world could be called a death world, and what planetary body does not have areas that are uninhabitable? He announced the assignment with a sense of purpose. In 3 weeks, each student was to present a video depicting the dangers of their homeworld, both animal and geological. This project would be 40% of their final grade, emphasizing its importance. The students reacted with a mix of excitement and apprehension. The classroom buzzed with discussions about potential video ideas, the creatures they would feature, and the geological hazards unique to their worlds. Julie, however, felt a knot of anxiety tighten in her stomach. She knew the assignment was an opportunity to share her world, but she also feared it would only deepen her classmates' misconceptions. Chapter 2. The presentations begin. The weeks flew by in a whirlwind of research and video production. Presentation day arrived with a palpable sense of anticipation in the air. Julie sat nervously in her seat, her stomach a knot of anxiety. She was to be the third student to present, but she was also curious about the other worlds and their dangers. The first presentation was from the planet Barry. The 3 students from Barry, Lyra, Tarek, and Phlox, stood proudly in front of the class. They detailed the ferocity of a small, furry creature that walked on 4 legs with a bushy tail. The video showed the animal hissing and slashing at a piece of cloth with razor-sharp claws. The class reacted with a mix of awe and fear, gasps and murmurs filling the room as the claws appeared seemingly out of nowhere. "See that?" Tarek said excitedly, pointing at the video screen. "Those razor-sharp talons weren't there a second ago. If that had been your arm, this beast would have cut the skin to the bone." The class applauded, impressed by the presentation, but Julie was puzzled. "Wasn't that just a house cat?" she asked, confused. Her question elicited laughter and murmurs from her classmates, but Instructor Sabal explained that the creature was considered a dangerous beast on Barry. Julie just nodded, her confusion deepening. The second presentation was equally dramatic. The students described a terror from the skies, a brightly colored flying creature with a powerful beak that could crack open hard seeds. The video showed the creature swooping down from the sky, its beak snapping with a loud crack as it broke open a seed. The class was horrified, but Julie again was confused. "That looks just like a parakeet," she said, her voice breaking the silence. Her classmates' murmurs of jealousy and rudeness filled the room, and Instructor Sabal began to worry that his plan was backfiring. The students from the second presentation exchanged glances, unsure how to respond. "That feathered merchant of death could never be a pet," one of the presenters insisted, trying to regain the class's attention. Julie just shrugged, feeling more isolated than ever. She knew her turn was coming up, and she feared that her presentation would only make things worse. Chapter 3. Julie's presentation. When it was Julie's turn, she hesitated. "Instructor, I fear I may have misunderstood the assignment," she said. her voice trembling slightly. Instructor Sabal urged her to proceed, though he was concerned by her nervousness. The room fell silent as Julie reluctantly began her presentation. She showed a rotating image of Earth, the blue marble slowly spinning on the screen. "In the north of my home continent, we face animals that fear no creature," she began, her voice gaining a bit of confidence. The video displayed a small, squat beast emerging from the snow, its eyes gleaming with a fierce intensity. The class screamed as the wolverine snarled at the camera. "It's a wolverine," Julie explained, then paused to clarify what snow was when a student asked in confusion. "Snow is rain that gets frozen before it hits the ground," she explained. The students gasped in disbelief, their imaginations running wild with the idea of frozen rain falling from the sky. Continuing, Julie showed the wolverine facing off against a grizzly bear, which elicited more gasps of horror. "There are much worse things on Earth than bears," she said, her tone darkening. The room fell silent as she showed a variety of Earth's dangerous creatures, from sharks to vampire bats to crocodiles. Instructor Sabal was shaking. "Stop it," he commanded. But Julie pressed on, finishing with, "The most deadly creature from Earth is humans." She walked back to her seat amidst the stunned silence of her classmates, feeling a mix of relief and dread. Chapter 4. Unexpected Outcomes. At lunch, Julie sat alone, fearing she had cemented her isolation. The cafeteria was a bustling place, filled with students from every corner of the galaxy. The air was filled with the sounds of different languages and the smells of diverse cuisines. Julie picked at her food, her appetite gone. To her surprise, Duat, a seal-like classmate, approached her. "You are awesome," he said, sitting down beside her. His large, expressive eyes were filled with admiration. Julie blinked in surprise, unsure how to respond. "Did you ever see a shark before in real life?" he asked, his voice filled with genuine curiosity. Shocked but pleasantly so, Julie said, "Yes, my uncle and I caught one while fishing once. It wasn't as big as the one in the presentation, though," she admitted. "You caught one?" Duat said, impressed. "Imagine catching a beast like that." Another shadow fell across her with another student asking, "Can you tell me about those vampire bat things? They sound scary." And another shadow and another. Julie, all smiles, tried to answer all their questions, but there were too many. When the lunch period ended, Julie was surrounded by admiring students as she walked back to class. Instructor Sabal watched from his desk, a smile on his face. His plan had worked, albeit not in the way he had expected. Julie's courage and honesty had broken down barriers, showing that understanding and respect could grow from even the most unexpected of circumstances. Before proceeding, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Chapter 5. The Aftermath. In the following weeks, the atmosphere in Instructor Sabal's classroom transformed. The students, now more united than ever, shared stories and knowledge about their worlds with genuine interest and respect. Julie became a central figure in this cultural exchange, her initial isolation forgotten. The classroom became a place of vibrant discussion and mutual respect. Students who had once been wary of Julie now sought her out for her unique perspective. They marveled at the resilience and adaptability of humans, traits they had previously misunderstood as dangerous. Julie, in turn, learned about the diverse challenges and beauties of her classmates' home worlds, deepening her appreciation for the galaxy's rich tapestry of life. Instructor Sabal graded the presentations, reflecting on the lessons learned. When he reached Julie's, he couldn't help but smile at the image of a piranha tearing into its prey. She deserved an A, not just for the content, but for the impact she had made on her classmates and the lasting friendships she had forged. Chapter 6. The Galactic Fair. As the Galactic Academy's annual Galactic Fair approached, excitement buzzed through the halls. The fair was a grand event, showcasing the cultures, technologies, and wonders of various planets. This year, Julie found herself at the center of attention, with many students eager to learn more about Earth. Julie decided to set up a booth at the fair to share more about her home planet. She worked tirelessly, gathering materials and creating displays that highlighted Earth's diverse ecosystems, advanced technologies, and rich cultures. Her booth featured a variety of items, from samples of Earth's foods to holographic projections of famous landmarks. On the day of the fair, Julie's booth quickly became one of the most popular. Students and visitors from all over the galaxy crowded around, fascinated by the unique exhibits. Julie explained the significance of each item, sharing stories of Earth's history and answering questions with enthusiasm. "What's this?" a student from the water planet Aquar asked, pointing to a hologram of the Great Wall of China. "It's the Great Wall of China," Julie explained. "It's one of the most famous structures on Earth, built over centuries to protect ancient civilizations from invasions." Another student from the desert planet Charis was intrigued by a sample of chocolate. "This is amazing! What is it?" "It's chocolate," Julie said with a smile. "It's made from the beans of the cacao tree, which grows in tropical regions. It's a favorite treat on Earth." Instructor Sabal wandered through the fair, observing the interactions with pride. Julie's booth was a testament to her resilience and determination to bridge cultural gaps. He noticed that her classmates were not only learning about Earth, but also gaining a deeper respect for Julie and her heritage. By the end of the day, Julie was exhausted but exhilarated. She had shared her world with her peers and, in return, had gained their admiration and friendship. As the fair came to a close, Julie looked around at the smiling faces and felt a profound sense of belonging. Chapter 7. The Field Trip. Following the success of the Galactic Fair, Instructor Sabal planned a field trip to the Intergalactic Museum of Natural Wonders. The museum housed artifacts and exhibits from countless planets, offering a unique opportunity for students to learn about the galaxy's diverse cultures and histories. The students were thrilled at the prospect of exploring the museum. As they arrived, they were greeted by a towering structure that shimmered with holographic displays. Inside the museum was a labyrinth of galleries, each dedicated to different worlds and their unique contributions to galactic knowledge. Julie, along with her classmates, wandered through the exhibits, marveling at the wonders on display. They saw ancient artifacts from the volcanic planet of Pyros, intricate sculptures from the ice world of Glacia, and advanced technology from the cybernetic civilization of Tekron. As they reached the Earth exhibit, Julie felt a surge of pride. The exhibit featured a wide range of items, from historical artifacts to technological innovations. There were replicas of ancient tools, models of famous landmarks, and interactive displays showcasing Earth's achievements in science and art. "Julie, come look at this," Duat called, pointing to a display of early human tools. "These are incredible," Julie joined him, explaining the significance of each tool and how they were used by ancient humans. Her classmates listened intently, fascinated by the ingenuity and adaptability of Earth's inhabitants. As they moved through the exhibit, they came across a section dedicated to Earth's natural wonders. Holographic projections of the Grand Canyon, the Great Barrier Reef, and the Amazon rainforest filled the room, immersing the students in the beauty of Earth's landscapes. "Earth is amazing," Lyra from Barry said, her eyes wide with wonder. "I had no idea it had so many incredible places." Julie smiled, feeling a deep sense of connection with her classmates. They were no longer wary of her. Instead, they were eager to learn and share their own stories. The field trip had brought them closer together, fostering a sense of unity and mutual respect. Chapter 8. A Galactic Friendship. As the school year progressed, Julie's integration into the MultiWorld Classroom continued to deepen. She had formed strong friendships with many of her classmates, and they often spent time together outside of school, exploring each other's cultures and traditions. One day, Duat invited Julie to visit his home planet, Oceania, a world covered almost entirely by water. Julie was excited about the opportunity to experience a new environment and learn more about her friend's culture. With Instructor Sabal's permission, Julie and a few other classmates joined Duat on a journey to Oceania. The trip was a thrilling adventure. As they descended into Oceania's atmosphere, Julie was awestruck by the vast, shimmering oceans that stretched as far as the eye could see. Duat's family welcomed them warmly, eager to share their way of life. Duat took them on a tour of his underwater city, a marvel of engineering with its transparent domes and bioluminescent structures. They explored coral reefs teeming with vibrant marine life and swam with schools of colorful fish. Julie was fascinated by the unique flora and fauna of Oceania, taking every opportunity to learn and document her experiences. One evening, as they sat around a bonfire on a sandy beach, Duat's family shared stories of their ancestors and the history of Oceania. Julie, in turn, shared tales of Earth's ancient civilizations and their contributions to human knowledge. The exchange of stories created a bond between them, highlighting the similarities between their cultures despite the vast distances that separated their worlds. Back at the Galactic Academy, the students continued to build on their newfound friendships. They collaborated on projects, shared meals, and celebrated each other's festivals. Julie introduced her classmates to Earth traditions like Halloween and Thanksgiving, while they introduced her to their own unique customs. Instructor Sabal watched with satisfaction as his students flourished in this environment of mutual respect and understanding. He knew that they were not only learning about each other's worlds, but also developing the skills and attitudes needed to become future leaders in the galaxy. The bonds they had formed were a testament to the power of diversity and the importance of cultural exchange. As the school year drew to a close, Julie looked forward to the future with confidence, knowing that she had found a place where she truly belonged. Chapter 9. The Intergalactic Games. The anticipation for the Intergalactic Games had reached fever pitch. This annual event, held at the Galactic Academy, brought together students from various planets to compete in a series of physical and mental challenges. It was a celebration of diversity and unity, showcasing the unique strengths and talents of each world. Julie was excited, but also nervous. She had signed up for several events, including a marathon that wound through the Academy's sprawling grounds and a knowledge quiz that tested participants on galactic history and sciences. Her classmates were eager to see how she would fare, given the different gravity and environmental conditions of Earth compared to other planets. The opening ceremony was a grand spectacle. Students paraded in traditional attire, representing their homeworlds with pride. Julie wore a simple yet elegant outfit made from sustainable materials, reflecting Earth's growing awareness of environmental conservation. Her heart swelled with pride as she walked alongside her friends, who had become like a second family to her. The first event Julie participated in was the marathon. The course was challenging, winding through forests, deserts, and simulated environments from various planets. Julie had trained hard, and her determination was evident as she kept pace with the frontrunners. As she ran, she remembered her training on Earth, the grueling sessions that had prepared her for this moment. She drew strength from the thought of her family and friends back home, who had always believed in her. Duat, who had become one of her closest friends, cheered her on from the sidelines. His encouragement, along with the support of her classmates, spurred her on. As Julie crossed the finish line, she was exhausted but elated. She had placed third, a significant achievement considering the competition. Next up was the knowledge quiz. Julie and her team, which included students from Barry, Oceania, and Caris, faced a series of challenging questions. Their diverse backgrounds proved to be an asset as they pooled their knowledge and strategized together. Julie answered several questions about Earth's history and technology, impressing the judges and her peers. The final round came down to a tie between Julie's team and a team from Techron. The last question was a complex puzzle involving advanced mathematics and logic. Julie's heart raced as she worked through the problem with her teammates. When they finally solved it, the room erupted in applause. They had won. The Intergalactic Games concluded with a grand celebration. Medals were awarded, and students from different planets mingled, sharing stories and forging new friendships. Julie felt a profound sense of accomplishment, not just for her individual achievements, but for the bonds she had strengthened with her classmates. Chapter 10. A Visit from Home. One morning, Julie received unexpected news. Her parents were visiting the Galactic Academy. They had been invited by instructor Sabal to speak at an interplanetary conference on education and cultural exchange. Julie was overjoyed at the prospect of seeing her family after so many months away from Earth. Her parents arrived with gifts and stories from home. They were impressed by the academy and the progress Julie had made. Seeing her parents interact with her friends from different worlds was a surreal experience for Julie. It was a merging of two parts of her life that she had kept separate for so long. The conference was a resounding success. Julie's parents spoke passionately about the importance of understanding and embracing diversity. They shared anecdotes about Julie's experiences, highlighting how she had grown and adapted to her new environment. Their speeches were well received, and many attendees expressed a desire to foster similar exchanges on their own planets. After the conference, Julie's parents spent a few days exploring the academy and meeting her friends. They were particularly fascinated by Duat and his underwater city. Duat took them on a virtual tour, using advanced holographic technology to simulate the experience of swimming through Oceania's vibrant reefs. Julie felt a deep sense of pride as she watched her parents interact with her classmates. They were no longer just her parents. They were ambassadors of Earth, helping to bridge the gap between worlds. The visit was a reminder of how far she had come and how much she had to look forward to. Chapter 11. Graduation and New Beginnings. The end of the school year was fast approaching, and with it, the anticipation of graduation. Julie had mixed feelings about the upcoming ceremony. She was excited to celebrate her achievements and the friendships she had formed, but she was also sad at the thought of parting ways with her classmates. Graduation day was a momentous occasion. The auditorium was decorated with banners representing the various planets, and the atmosphere was electric with excitement. Students and their families filled the seats, waiting for the ceremony to begin. Instructor Sabal took the stage to deliver the commencement address. He spoke about the journey they had all undertaken, the challenges they had faced, and the growth they had experienced. His words were filled with pride and hope for the future. Julie listened intently, reflecting on her own journey. She thought about her first days at the academy, feeling like an outsider, and how she had gradually found her place among her peers. She had learned so much, not just academically, but about herself and the galaxy. When Julie's name was called, she walked across the stage to receive her diploma. The applause was thunderous, and she felt a wave of emotion wash over her. She looked out at the sea of faces, her family and friends, and felt a profound sense of gratitude. After the ceremony, there was a festive celebration. Julie and her classmates reminisced about their time at the academy, sharing stories and making plans to stay in touch. They knew that their paths might diverge, but the bonds they had formed would endure. As Julie prepared to leave the academy, she felt a mixture of excitement and nostalgia. She was ready for the next chapter of her life, whatever it might bring. Her experiences at the Galactic Academy had given her the confidence and skills to face any challenge. She knew that she was part of a larger community, one that spanned the galaxy, and that she would always have friends and allies wherever she went. Julie looked up at the stars, filled with hope and anticipation for the future. She was ready to embrace the adventures that awaited her, confident that she had the strength and support to succeed. Stay tuned for the next videos. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video.